last time I ever looked in my father's eyes when I was 5 years old was watching as he attempted to bring his cane down in my skull. And what I remember about that night, more than the noise and the screaming and the ambulance and everything, was the look in my father's eyes, a look of absolute hatred. I mean, I walked in my sleep till I was about 18 years of age, and I would have the same nightmare. The nightmare I had that was recurring was that I was walking down a corridor. I was being taken by two guards, and I was about to be executed. And all my family were on the other side of a glass wall, and nobody could hear me, and nobody could see me. And I would wake up absolutely sweating and then not go back to sleep because I was so scared. And it took me a long, long time to begin to understand that even if you had the most damaging relationship with your father, our Father, God, can gather up all those broken pieces and not just put you back together again, but allow His light to come through all the cracks. And I've seen women who, one woman, I invited her to come to a conference 2 weeks ago, and she said, "I don't fit in with your crowd." So I immediately liked her. So I texted her back and I said, "Why don't you fit in with our crowd?" And she said, "Well, some Sundays I go to church. Most Sundays I have a hangover from the night before. So I don't go. So I don't belong." And I said, "Would you please just be my guest? You don't have to sit with anybody else. I'll save a seat for you beside me. Would you just come?" And so she agreed. And when she came in, she had such a, I understood the look, that don't sell me any, baloney. Don't tell me that, if you become a Christian, God will make everything perfect. But she sat there, and after the worship, and I shared my own testimony of such brokenness and such despair, where I considered taking my own life. But the way that God and His love and mercy had reached out and saved me. And one of the most amazing things was at the end, when I came out to just kind of hang with people, she was one who ran to me and threw her arms around my neck, almost convulsing with sobs. Because it was like, do you mean that no matter what has happened to you up until this moment, that God can change everything? And I'm like, that's why I live and breathe. That's why I'm still here. Because if you have a terrible marriage, God can be with you. If you have a terrible relationship with your children, with your parents. See, that's why I wrote the book about peace that we're not going to talk about. Because you remember when Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives." See, for the peace that the world gives to work, everything's got to line up. And Jesus said, "No, in this world you're going to have trouble. But take heart, I've overcome the world." So to me, peace is not the absence of trouble, it's the presence of Christ.
Wow.
It's the love of our Father. You can be in the worst place and know peace because He's in control.